Hey Alex, do you remember, I mean, maybe you're a little too young to remember this, but I certainly remember when I was in high school, you could realistically have $500 and go and get yourself a running and driving car. It's not going to be anything special or anything nice, but it's out there, you could find it. But nowadays, that just really doesn't exist anymore. However, I think I bought one.
Yeah, you got a $500 car?
I got a $500 car. I'm pretty sure it runs and drives.
Okay.
We're on our way to go get it right now. And I wonder if you can guess what it is, and I'll give you a little hint. It was designed by Pininfarina, and you could possibly say that it's the world's cheapest car ever designed by Pininfarina.
That hint does not help me out one bit. I have no idea what you've purchased, but a $500 car in 2024, I'm gonna imagine it's got some big issues. Maybe it starts, but you live pretty far from this auction, so the goal of this day, I guess, is to see if your $500 car can actually make it back to your house under its own power. So that's what we're gonna try and do today.
Yeah, I got like a 35-40 minute drive back to my house, and we're just about to pull up to the auction here, and well, I guess you guys will get to see it and see if we can make it back.
Yeah, so I genuinely have no idea what car it is that you purchased. We were in our morning meeting today talking about doing this video, and you pulled up pictures of it, showed everyone. I closed my eyes so I wouldn't see it, and I'd be genuinely surprised. I think I made a wrong turn here, didn't I? So
You did.
we're gonna
okay.
go find the auction, find the car, and we'll check back in with you in a second when we see it.
Yep.
Is this the one, Brendan?
No. I don't think this would be $500. Also, this doesn't run, so this would be super challenging to get home.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is cool though.
Yeah, I wish I could get one of these for $500, although it would probably cost me close to 10 times that to get it to stay running.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's a good idea.
Yeah, these are sweet, but definitely money pits. But I gotta sit in it.
Does it smell like you're rich, Alex?
It does. It smells like I'm super rich with the trash bag covering up the window over here.
Oh, how far the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, this is cool. Let's keep looking for the one you bought though. Is that your $500 car?
No, mine thankfully has doors.
Okay.
At least. For $500 I got doors.
Sweet. So when I think of a $500 car, this is kind of what I think of. No digs at Hyundai, but something that just doesn't spark any emotion. 2004 with 201,000 miles on it, tons of paint fade. That's what I think of when I think of a $500 car.
You're not far off, Alex. I mean, it does have some resemblances to this, which you will see here shortly, and it is pretty uninspiring.
But it's not that.
Nope.
All right. Now, this at some point might have been a $500 car. They're kind of cool now, though.
This sold this last week at the auction block for $900.
Yeah.
So even this, and they pushed it across the auction block because it doesn't run, and it's got 269,000 miles on it. It is a stick shift, though, Alex.
It is.
So if I could get something like this for $500, that'd be pretty cool. But mine's not as cool as one of these.
No. These have some sentimental value to them for a lot of people, and even if they're not in the best shape, they're definitely going to be more than $500.
I mean, what's cooler than the brick wagon, man?
Now, the red Hyundai over there, you said I was pretty close.
You were pretty close. Doesn't this look a lot like that red Hyundai?
It looks like the same exact car to me in a different color.
Yeah, well, kind of. So this is the Suzuki Forenza. This is my $500 beater car. As you can see, pretty much every body panel is dented and it's got paint fade all over it. And believe it or not, this is actually made by Daewoo, so South Korean car as well.
Yeah, do the headlights work? Have you tested that? I'm curious why you've got off-road lights in your front bumper down here.
You know, I haven't tested it, and to be honest, I looked at over 60 cars when I was here the day before the auction, so they all kind of just blend together, and in my mind, it said that this thing is like perfect mechanically, but I'm sure it's not.
Okay, well, let's just take a quick walk around. I mean, it doesn't look too terrible from the outside. It's got good tires on it. Body looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. Are you kidding? You see all this hail damage up here? And then it's got...
It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's got some dents. It's got some clear coat fading away from it.
It's relatively straight, I'd say, until you get to the back, and then it's all cracked and terrible.
It's just a cheap beater with a heater is how I see it.
I like that. Let's open it up, see what the inside looks like.
All right. Yeah, so the seats have covers on them, but the back seats look like they're in good shape, so I assume the front seats aren't awful. Well, let's hop in and, well, I gotta find where the key is. Oh, there it is. Just a boring old key. It's probably not the original, but I got some bings and bongs, so I have some battery power.
It fires up.
Fires right up. There's no check engine light. I do have an airbag light, so I guess it does have a problem, but seems to run okay.
Yeah, who needs airbags?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I mean, doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with it, I should say.
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't say it sounds good.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it'll be an okay car. Let's get it off the lot and see if we can go take it for a drive.
I'm really curious about your headlights. Can you try turning them on?
Okay. Are they on? Because they should
No.
be. They're not on?
No.
Well, it does have this, it says LED light bar switch over here. Let's see if I push that. Does anything
Your LED lights are on now.
Oh, look at that. So I do have headlights. I just have auxiliary headlights.
So yeah, those little off-road lights, they're there for a reason, I guess.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see how well those work. I hope they're good LEDs that actually light up the road and don't just like point down into nothing.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
So Brendan, have you checked the trunk yet?
I'm kind of afraid to be honest with you.
I'm wondering if there's a big sub setup back there, because you've got this aftermarket radio and we've got some red wiring running to the back seat, what's looking like into the trunk. So
You know, you're a more observant man than I am.
this thing might bump.
I haven't tried it out. I didn't even turn on the radio. I just assumed because it's got this nice aftermarket radio that it worked. But who knows? Maybe we could be bumping down the road and shining everybody with our really bright LED lights as well. They're going to hate us.
They are.
Per your request, here's the trunk. And, oh, good. It's got a bottle of coolant. That's a great sign for buying a used vehicle. But,
Brake pads.
yeah, there is some wires back here. Ooh, some big wires. So I think your theory is correct that there was a subwoofer back here, but clearly the previous owner took those with him.
Yeah, unfortunate.
All right, so we're pulling out here on the road. I can immediately tell I've got the fast blink going on, and usually means you've got a blinker out. Not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But a little bit about this car. So it's a 2006 Suzuki Forenza, which was back when GM owned, or at least a part of Suzuki, and they were building cars out, or they were selling cars here in the US. Suzuki is no more in the US. They still sell cars around the rest of the world, just not here. But this one in particular was when they also partnered with Daewoo, and so these were a Korean-built Japanese car that was also owned by an American company. I don't know. Towards the end of Suzuki's time here in the US, it was quite frankly just a mess. But these aren't bad little cars, you know, they're no Honda, they're no Toyota or anything like that, but they last. I mean, this one's only got 117,000 miles on it, thankfully, which is the most surprising thing to me, the fact that I got such a low mileage vehicle for $500. It's just kind of unheard of to me. And the fact that, I mean, other than the airbag light and the headlight's not working and the blinker fast blinking, I don't know of many issues with this. It seems to run and drive pretty straight. The engine seems to run fairly strong. It just seems like a good little car, but we're almost out of gas, so I'm gonna have to get some gas.
That right rear wheel looks a little wobbly, so I don't know if he knows that yet. We're pulling into the gas station right now. We only had to drive like, I don't know, half a mile to get to the gas station. So yeah, I'll let him know right now, see what he thinks.
So I don't know how much I want to trust this vehicle as far as doing a lot of driving with it. So I think I'm just going to put 20 bucks in so we have some gas to get us down the road?
I already don't trust it after that half-mile drive we did to the gas station.
Really? Why do you say that?
That right rear wheel is very wobbly.
Uh-oh.
Goes like this, going down the road.
Oh no. Are they all on properly? Are my lug nuts loose? Do you think it's safe to take on the highway?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't feel weird.
It looks horrible.
Really? It's that bad? Well, against Alex's warnings, I've decided to take this thing onto the highway. And we are going to drive this. The speed limit around here is 65, but does get up does get up to 75 miles an hour before we get to my house. And one other thing I am noticing is the steering wheel is cocked a little bit to the right. I don't think that really has anything to do with the rear wheels, though. All right, but pulling onto the highway, I mean, other than the steering wheel being a little bit to the right, it seems to drive pretty straight. I don't feel anything vibrating violently in the back, so I think I'm okay. I hope I'm okay. Well, I mean, I will say it does shift through all of its gears. It seems to drive fairly normally. The engine's not like misfiring or anything like that. Wow. And I'm impressed. This is a good little car if you just want something for $500 to drive around. I mean, unless there's something I'm missing, I don't know why I didn't have to pay more for this. So there's now like a weird clapping noise on this side, which I'm guessing is just a piece of plastic trim, but it's, boy, that is really annoying. All right, Brendan really wants me to drive this to his place. The rest of the way, I gotta tuck this little door trim in here so it doesn't flap all over the place, but we'll see what this is like. I had to drive behind this to where we just stopped to grab some lunch, and I was watching the wheel wiggle around the whole way here, and maybe I can feel it when we get up to speed. We'll see. All right, so we're getting on the highway here. Got a little bit of an on-ramp, so I'll punch it and see what it does. Not very exciting, but it moves. And as Brendan said when we first got in this, I mean, it sounds healthy, it feels healthy. Alignment's a little bit off. I'm holding the steering wheel a few degrees to the right to go straight down the road, but nothing terrible. And even though that rear wheel is wiggling all over the place, I really can't feel it from inside the car. I can't feel it at all, actually, which is surprising. So yeah, so far so good. We've got probably about another 20 miles or so, maybe a little more, before we make it out to Brendan's place, which is our final stop with this car. So yeah, we're just gonna keep trekking along. I will check back in if anything happens, but as of now, we're just kind of coasting down the highway and all seems pretty good. All right, so I'm rolling off the highway right now, and that was pretty uneventful. So we're pulling up to Brendan's place right now. This car has basically made it all the way home, trouble-free. Yeah, there's some issues. It doesn't look awesome. It's not super fun to drive. The headlights don't work. The airbag light is on. The wheel's wiggling around. The alignment's off. The door seal isn't perfect, but what was that, like a 45-minute drive? Yeah, about that, 45 minutes, and
we made it the whole way.
Made it.
How can you complain about that for $500?
I don't see why you can't. Well, there's been a lot of people that have been asking for me to do something here that I want to give a little bonus to those of you that have made it to the end. A little fleet update. So
before you do, I've got one big question.
One big question?
Then we'll look at your cars.
Okay.
Was this really a $500 car? Because we just picked it up from the auction.
Even to me, someone that has dealer connections, once I factor in auction fees and taxes, I'm going to be into this like $1,000 plus. I'm going to need to fix a few things before I turn around and sell it. But realistically, I'm hoping to, maybe I'll ask like $3,000 for it once it's cleaned up and I've fixed a few things on it so it's better than I got it. And I'll hope to get maybe $2,500 for it. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, if you are someone that's out there that's like really searching for a good deal out there, you could probably find something like this for less than $2,000, I would think.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fair. I mean, $500 winning bid, I'm still going to call it a $500 car.
Sure.
Let's do your fleet update.
Sounds good. So we'll start with my most recent vehicle that's already appeared on the channel, the Passat W8. I really have no updates for it. If you haven't watched that Passat W8 video, I did a pretty thorough update there with all the issues going on with this. Nothing has changed. I'm planning on putting a battery in very soon, but I'll be honest, I haven't driven it since that video, and I need to. This poor thing, my Baja Bug, blew its transmission. So I put in a brand new clutch and redid all the seals on the motor and got it running in tip-top shape. Took it off-roading at the ranch, and the next day the transmission literally went crunchy on me, and now it's like jammed and won't go into any gear and hardly even rolls without dragging its tires. So that's a project that's been sitting around before, gosh, it's probably been 6 months now. It's been parked here. Obviously, you just saw my latest purchase, my Suzuki Forenza. And this one actually hasn't appeared on the channel. Yes, I've shown, I think, 2 different town cars. This is my 3rd town car. This is a Signature L, which means it is the long wheelbase. And the fact that it is a Signature means that it's kind of like a limo. It's got like fold down mirrors in the back. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. But the thing is it's winter and this has no heat. So this also has been parked for about a month, maybe 2.
You have a town car problem.
Yeah, I have a town car problem. Every town car I've bought has some sort of blower motor problem that requires the entire dash to be taken apart in order for it to be fixed. So this one's probably the next one going to the mechanic because I feel bad, because otherwise it's fantastic and I will eventually do a full video on this. But yeah, maybe if we get a really nice day or something, I'll take it out for a spin. So another one is my Baja Mini. And if you watch that Baja Mini video, you would see that I did a ton of work to this, or mostly Case did a ton of work to this, lifting it up 2 inches, putting a custom-made bumper on the front, and then we cut off the rear muffler. I did buy a Stinger exhaust. I just haven't installed it yet. I did just put in a new windshield, though. Then we also have my wife's beloved Mustang. This thing is a trooper, honestly. It's now showing 208,000 miles on the clock. Granted, it's a V6 automatic convertible, so it's the least enthusiast spec of Mustang that you could possibly get, but this thing is it just keeps running. When any of my other vehicles fail me, I know I can always rely on this. And then behind me is my wife's 2019 Ford Edge. Now, I've never shown this on the channel because, quite frankly, it's just her boring, mundane daily driver. She just likes something with all the gadgets and gizmos, which this has. I mean, it's got the self-parking, the adaptive cruise, you name it. But oddly enough, that is our lowest mileage vehicle we own at only, I think, 86,000 miles, but it's been through 2 transmissions. So, yeah, modern Fords, I'm not too impressed. And last but not least is my beloved 1978 BMW R100S. This has been in my family since it was brand new. It's got over 140,000 miles on the clock. And believe it or not, this engine has never been rebuilt. I love this thing. This is like what kind of spurred me to be a motorhead growing up. I remember going out to the garage when I was a kid and just sitting on this thing, dreaming of the day that I would be old enough to take it out for a ride. And so now actually being able to own it and ride it has been a dream come true. And it will always be with me. Well, guys, there you have it. I guess it is possible today to buy a cheap $500 car and be able to take it home. I mean, yeah, I know some of you are going to tell me that it's because I got dealer connections, but if you're looking out there, you'd be surprised. There are some good deals out there. In fact, I'm sure some of you can let me know in the comments section below of a deal that you've bought in the last year or 2 of a car that you just thought was a screaming deal of a running and driving car, no matter what it is. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I think there's plenty of them out there. This is a really good example of something you could get for $500, but I'm curious to see what other people think is the winner for $500. So
yeah, I think I think what the key is it's like a forgotten brand, right? This is a car that's at the auction and nobody really thinks too much about it because no one's looking for a Suzuki Forenza, right? So if you look at the cars that are kind of forgotten or that nobody's really considered in a long time or that nobody really cares about, that's when you can get a really good deal if you just want cheap, basic transportation. Well, thanks so much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure of ours. I know I sure did, and a big thanks to Alex behind the camera. Take care, guys.